Ladies and gentlemen, Italy has slid even further as far as population decline. Still not enough babies are being born, despite of the fact that they offer to pay for cars, homes, and give them all kinds of perks and benefits, even pay part of the mortgage. Not working, you know? And see, one thing about Europe and the US, nobody wants to admit they have very family unfriendly policies on these jobs. They believe 6 weeks off from work is all you need. You dump your 6 week old baby off to the nearest babysitter and you bring your ass back to work full time. It is the most coldest, uncaring family policies I've ever seen in my life. And, it's the powers that be that came up with these family policies. And you can tell because I don't believe any woman would have came up with these kind of policies that they got in place. Work, 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 work. Even if you got a newborn, work, work. And on top of that, they got everything so unaffordable. Childcare is unaffordable. Some of these places charge you as much of a damn mortgage to even have childcare. You got to pay almost a mortgage to have your children watched after. That is ridiculous. And then on top of that, if you need time off to take care of your children because they're sick, some of these jobs frown upon that kind of stuff. They're not friendly about it at all. And then they have these horrible policies in place and then turn around and look around talking about, well, why aren't you having babies? We need more babies. Woo, the level of ignorance is real. So this came out in the Daily Sabah. Italy birth rate hits record low in 2018 as population shrinks. Now, they have a whole bunch of migrants going in there, ladies and gentlemen, and it is still not making up for the losses in the Italian population at all. I mean, they have done everything, including throwing the kitchen sink, and it's not making any difference. You know why? Because money is not the problem. So the number of babies born in Italy hit a new record low in 2018. The population shrank and the average age crept higher. National Statistic Office ISTAT said on Wednesday, Italy's demographic crisis with a shrinking population and aging workforce is one reason for the chronologically stagnant economy, economists say, and the situation is getting worse. I'm not surprised at all. Not surprised. See, the immigrants really don't stay in Italy for a long time, and that's also another issue. They always go elsewhere, and that's because the jobs in Italy, the pay is poor. They don't have a lot of good paying jobs like they do in other countries. And, so even with all of the people migrating there, they only stay there temporarily and they end up moving on because the money is just not good enough. So births dropped by 18,000 to 440,000 last year, the lowest level since the unification of Italy in 1861. ISTAT said, while deaths totaled 633,000, the total population fell by 124,000 to 60.36 million, the fourth straight year of decline, meaning that since 2014, Italy has lost some 400,000 residents, the equivalent of its seventh largest city of Bologna. The anti-austerity government, which took office a year ago, has boosted welfare spending and vowed to cut taxes in a bid to improve family stagnant incomes, which it says contribute to their reluctance to have babies. Well, again, you made everything very family unfriendly for the average couple, and that's why they're not having a lot of babies. You know, you notice how they blame it on everything, but they will not blame it on partly their policies, which are terrible. So let's go on. They don't listen to people like us, ladies and gentlemen. They just ignore us. And that's cool because their situation sure ain't getting better. We are in a terrible state. Matteo Salvini, Interior Minister and leader of the Right Wing League, commented on ISTAT's report on demographic trend. This is the real crisis, not the bond yield spreads or the economic crisis, he added. The number of Italians moving abroad rose 1.9% year on year in 2018, while new residents from abroad decreased by 3.2%. I knew someone that moved to Italy and they were working there, and they said the Italians want to work you like a dog and pay you next to nothing. That's why, like Italy and Greece, those kind of places, they cannot keep the foreign people there. They may initially migrate there, but they always leave because the income is just so poor in those countries. Foreigners accounted for 8.7% of the resident population at the end of last year, meaning Italians amounted to 55.1 million. That is down 677,000 compared with 2014, the equivalent of the population of Palermo, Italy's fifth largest city. Bolzano, on the northern border of Austria, was the only Italian province in which births exceeded deaths last year, while the death rate was the highest in the northwestern coastal region of Liguria. So, ladies and gentlemen, things are definitely not looking up for Italy as far as the birth rate is concerned. But it's the sign of the times, And even the scientists say once the birth rate goes below a point, it's pretty much over. I think the last time I saw Italy, they were down to like a 1.2. So they are way, way below the 2.1 recommended replacement rate. They are well beyond that. And they said there's no turning back once that happens. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.